Hello, I'm local Democracy Reporter Emma Draper. I've been speaking to Commodore of Peel Sailing Club Roger Cave and the President Harry Owens about the lease ending on the building. A decision was made by Peel commissioners to take the building back and do maintenance work. The pair say they're angry at the decision.
The club was formed well over 40 years ago, and it stemmed from the fact that certain individuals in the fraternity of sailing thought it was what a good idea, we should have a club here. So they eventually got together and negotiated with the commissioners to use the Rocket House, as it was called in those days, and still seems to carry that handle. And they got together and agreed that they should be allowed and permitted to do extensive work on it. And basically they started off with a structure that was like a long brick passageway with an upper part, which had glazed down below but not upstairs. So what they did, they got together and they built what we call the snug, which is as you go into the actual club itself, at the top end is a bar and alongside is the small snug. And it is a snug, it's a comfortable little thing like that. They put a window in and a wall in between, a passageway that led you out then to the cells, which when they first started were like medieval. Like you go into a castle where there are great big oaken doors with nails in it and peepholes and things like that. And they removed them but left some of the gudgeons there. They're still there. The dome ceilings, which for the cells are still present but covered over. And they basically made the ladies and then a very, very basic gents with a urinal and behind the door what we'd term as a shower, which is a small cubicle you could virtually not turn around, but it was still effective and it worked, with a toilet further up. So it was really cubically and small, but they actually made something at the very beginning, due to funds, obviously, and it functioned and it attracted people in. Subsequent, later on, and I actually took over in the early 90s as Commodore, and we'd agreed that we should expand it and make it more attractive to people for a membership and for any local visiting seamen that came in. And so we did. And we expanded and we spent quite a lot of our own money on it, our funds and that. But at the same time, Tony Brown, who was the Minister for Tourism at the same time from Castletown, was very enthusiastic for what we were doing, because he was involved in bringing people into the Isle of Man, and particularly we were bringing them into Peel. So he actually helped us to get the publicise the traditional boat set up, and he produced and had pamphlets that we could hand out to encourage people to come to these things. So on that, we built new toilets. We altered the ladies, made it more expansive and more beneficial. We broke through a wall where that toilet I mentioned before was, and found in that room was where the actual office for the police station was. In the centre of the floor was a toilet sitting there on its own, like it just looked like the Tower of Refuge in the bay here. And we broke all this down. We made a full gents showers, cubicles for WC toilets and that. Toilets, should say, toilets. And that was formed by us from nothing, a bare expanse, passageway and everything. And in fact, the actual original door that you came into the police station, that side is still there and still used to make entry to come to the showers, etc. The ladies were, the actual entrance for them was altered, and where you normally would go is now covered with the cleaning tackle in, and the ladies went in the passageway, which actually faced the urinal. So if you can imagine, it was quite an extensive amount of build and a lot of money we put into the building. And this was in after we had an agreement with the commissioners, and I actually was at the Commodore that formulated the agreement with the commissioners to continue on in the same vein, attracting people into Peel, bringing any organisation Peel, accommodating them within a building. We actually had elderly people there before they had a facility in Peel. We had them there on a week, and we did it for free. We didn't charge them anything. They had the use of the building, and this is the premise that we had. And so we've gone on and done our small thing towards Peel, that we bring the yachties in, our restaurants, our shops and everything benefit from all that. And I feel rather surprised that we are considered to be of no use to Peel whatsoever. It really hurts me, that.
And when did you find out that the lease wasn't being renewed?
Right, well, we heard rumours back end of 2023, so I wrote a letter to the commissioners asking for an extension of our present lease beyond 2028. I didn't get a reply until March of this year, and it categorically stated the lease would not be renewed. We then wrote to all the commissioners asking them, because within that letter saying that extensive refurbishment needed to be carried out on the building, patently untrue. So we wrote to all the commissioners inviting them down to visit the clubhouse, have a guided tour and see what we've done. As Harry quite rightly pointed out, we basically built the club. Commissioners didn't, we did. And so far we've only had one response, and that was negative. We had one commissioner actually came in last Friday, and he had a tour of the building and he was extremely impressed. He was amazed from what he'd been told that the place was a wreck and falling down, needed a new roof. It doesn't. Needed new windows. It doesn't. Needs the plumbing sorted out. It doesn't. It's just erroneous information that's been put out there, and we're very, very angry.
The commissioners have said that the building will go back through the tender process if the lease is finished. Is that something that you think you will do?
Well, we don't know. This is another very hurtful thing. We asked for reasons why they want or not to renew the lease. They haven't come back to us and say, well, we're going to review your lease and you can apply, you can tender for an extension. That hasn't been mentioned. If it had, we could discuss it amongst ourselves and with the commissioners to find out what terms they would accept from us. But we haven't. It's just been, no, you're not going to have it anymore. You're out. When it comes back, oh, it's going to be a tender process. Why didn't they tell us that in the first place? Again, it's very annoying.
And what will the loss of the building mean for the people who use it in the town? I know you've said previously that the RNLI are members and there's a motorcycle club that are members as well. So what will this mean for you guys and the town as well?
Well, it's going to be a huge loss to the town. Just to outline a few of the things that most people know about, the traditional New Year's Day dip is centred there. People can come and use the showers after the dip because it's extremely cold. There's soup and coffee upstairs. There's a traditional boat weekend. That's no longer with us, but we're doing a Peel Festival of the Sea. That's going to take its place. The Viking longboat races are run from there. The Moddey Dhoo Motorcycle Club, they put on great events for MGP and TT events. It's used extensively by visiting yachtsmen who bring their money into the town, use the showers and the toilets. A small venue for such things as weddings, birthday parties, funeral wakes. It'll be a great loss to the town. We look at it ourselves as being almost a community hub. It's unique for that particular area of the town. It's fairly central, and if people want to go on from there to use the shops and the bars, the restaurants, they can. It will be a great loss.
Could I say one other thing is we don't charge out too much at all. We actually just charge enough to continue to run our place, and we're not out to make a killing, we're not out to do anybody down or take anything away from them. We just have this facility, and it's within our sort of thoughts that we are doing something towards Peel, because we're very staunch supporters of Peel indeed. As you say, these events that Roger has just mentioned are such that we promote them, we help them, but we don't overcharge them. I'd take up the point about the plumbing and things like that, and the wiring. I was present when all that was done. It was done by a very, very qualified plumber and electricians. It's a first-class job. It would not have worked if it hadn't done in a proper manner. And the toilets and the showers, what we've done, the quality of them is absolutely spot on. The reason is, if you didn't have substantial ones, with the amount of use they get, they would fall apart.
Absolutely.
And this is one thing I mentioned when we first started the club, did this facility. We had this little cubicle behind the door, which is a plastic edifice which is falling to bits. But these ones we've got are really, really substantial. They work properly. There's hair dryers in for the ladies and all that sort of thing. So if we say, right, if we get thrown out, which obviously they're trying to, they are going to throw us out, so this will come to an end. And there'll be nothing like left for the yachtsmen, or in fact, some of the fishermen know the combination and come in and use them as well. But yes, if you look at it, it is something that's not going to be there in the near future. And if it comes to the point, why should we continue to do what we do? They don't give us any encouragement whatsoever. In my opinion, they think we're a waste of space, and I think it's rather poor show that.
I agree with Harry on that one. And a recent development, you probably know that the Legion Club in Peel recently closed its doors. They had the group, the metal detectorists, who used to meet there. They asked us, well, we're losing our facility, can we come and use yours? No problem. Open the doors, they come in. It's only once a month, but they love the place because it suits their purpose and they had nowhere else to go. So if they close us down as a club, they're thrown out. As well as we're being thrown out, and all the other people that use our facility, they've lost facility and they will have nowhere to go.
If you mention the Moddey Dhoo, they came to us because they had nowhere to go, and they are associate members of the club. Obviously, can't be doing what they're doing unless they are. So we haven't contravened any agreements by having them there as members. But what amount their contribution to the club is phenomenal. They do a heck of a lot of decorating and things like that. And also they bring these events, which I think you've already mentioned, in Peel, which attracts motorcyclists, and there are that many there. It's quite incredible. And again, the business sector, sell food and whatever, benefit from these things. So, okay, we'll kick us out. Moddey Dhoo go, there's something lost for Peel, and there's going to be quite a bit. So
huge
sad.
gap in Peel social calendar.
Thank you for making it to the end of the Little Manx Radio newscast. You are obviously someone with exquisite taste. May I politely suggest you might want to subscribe to this and a wide range of Manx Radio podcasts at your favourite podcast provider, so our best bits will magically appear on your smartphone. Thank you.